Hi, Joe.
Hello to you, Julie.
How are you?
I am very well, thank you. How are you?
Very good, thank you. And nice to meet
Wonderful. Sorry, I missed that. Say that again.
nice to see you.
Yes, indeed. And for our viewers now and for those in the future, I would like to formally introduce this lovely lady who has graciously agreed to join this Instagram Live. This is, of course, Julie Lamberg Burnett, the founder of the Sydney School of Protocol. Again, Julie, thank you for graciously accepting this invitation.
Well, thank you for the invitation.
My pleasure. Now, you are coming to this live from Sydney. I am coming to this live from Basel, Switzerland. And it is a great delight for me to be here, as I'm sure you and all viewers can understand. It's a beautiful part of the world. And yes, it is morning here. So morning and evening, but the wonders of technology, we can connect no
I
matter
know
where we are.
the most beautiful place where you are.
Indeed. Now, Julie, let's dive in. You, of course, have founded this School of Protocol in Sydney, and you team up with the Sydney Sofitel Wentworth Hotel in bringing programs and events to clients. You were trained and certified by the Washington School of Protocol. I want to start there. When did you do that training? What was it like? And what have you brought back to Australia and introduced with your school?
The training, Joe, in Washington, which was very exciting, was in 2012. And as you know, Washington is the heartland of protocol. So it was a very professional program, one of the few in the world, actually, that offers this accreditation. My due diligence in Australia sort of highlighted that there were very few, if any, other qualified PSOW, they call it, accredited businesses in Australia. So that was my key motivation to bring that accreditation and the rich program and knowledge of the Protocol School of Washington back to Australia, or back to this part of the world, really, because we do extend obviously beyond Australia, but New Zealand as well.
And that is a New Zealand accent I detect. Am I correct, Julie?
You are. You are correct.
Wonderful. Well, look, I have a fondness for New Zealand. I am actually three-quarters Kiwi myself. My
Oh,
mother, being a Kiwi, she was a Kiwi, and my father, and well, my father's mother was a Kiwi. So yes, three-quarters. So look, there's the connection there, Julie.
that's wonderful.
So what have you introduced in Sydney and in partnership with the Sofitel Sydney? What sorts of programs and events do you offer?
So our key purpose is to help people define their personal brand. And that can be their personal brand as an individual or their personal brand as a professional person in a professional role. And also it has extended and evolved into helping businesses, corporate businesses from luxury retail to financial businesses, where we've helped their teams align the business brand. I guess that whole interconnection, which you would clearly understand, that link between your personal brand, the business brand, and how you're a brand ambassador. So we do have a broad range of clients that we host depending on their needs, and all the programs are tailored to make sure that we meet, all those needs, whether it's, as I say, a professional person, of which we have many, and it's very discreet training and private one-on-one, or one-on-two actually, because we have, I have quite a few professional other people in my team who support what we're doing. So the Sofitel situation there is that with groups we do host and we used that venue. And that was certainly something that I gained from going to the Protocol School of Washington, because they used a hotel environment, the Ritz-Carlton, to host their courses. And when I was working in the airline industry, I always really understood the advantage of hosting people and helping them develop and transform, but putting them in an environment that would actually bring out and really bring out the best in people, and help them. I guess that whole notion of elevating yourself, how do you do that? So your environment in which you're teaching is quite vital.
Indeed. Well, you're doing great work, and as a fellow etiquette educator and consultant, I just delight in seeing the work that you are doing and what you are teaching the people of Australia, the people of the Southern Hemisphere, and indeed other parts of the world, no doubt, as well. Etiquette is for everyone. I know that you would agree with this. This is not something to make oneself feel better than others or to be high and mighty or highfalutin. This is something about promoting the dignity of oneself and promoting the dignity of all human persons. What is it about teaching etiquette and protocol that you just delight and love?
That's a very good question, Joe. What I think really makes me so proud is when I see our clients really embrace the notion of etiquette and protocol. Because for some, and for many, and you would understand this, etiquette sometimes conjures up some outdated notion. So we make a great a situation where people thinking about modern etiquette and how it applies to the situations we have today. So the personal brand, if you like, is a very good overarching framework that we teach from. And then we underpin it with, advanced business etiquette and international protocol. And what is wonderful is seeing that people actually understand that. It lands with them. They get the connection. And I'm a great one for saying, you need to join the dots for people to really understand what does etiquette really mean in the modern world. And it is, as I say, very satisfying to see people. We teach, etiquette such as, even how to shake your hand, how to walk into a room, how to have conversation. And for many of our clients, and I do wish to add here, a lot of our clients are immigrants. So for them, if English is their second language, this whole notion of how your body can talk and speak to when you're walking into a space is so enlightening for people who sometimes focus very much on, I need to get all the words correct because English is my second language. And it's just like, it's incredible. And it's 10 years now we've been operating and we still get a thrill out of seeing that observation that people have and the confidence that they have after they've realized that they, the world's their oyster and they don't have to, if they really understand modern etiquette and especially non-verbals, how we communicate. So I think for our clients, I think we put etiquette and protocol in context. And I think that's very important.
Well done to you. It is so true. Knowledge of and awareness of being able to practically use proper etiquette, protocol, good manners, indeed boosts one's self-confidence to no end, enabling you to have the confidence, yes, is the most appropriate word, to walk into any room with the sense of, I'm meant to be here, I can manage this, I can negotiate this room with ease because I know these sets of rules that will enable me to work this space in the appropriate way.
And for us, that transformation is quite significant. And with all our clients, it's a very experiential program that we run. As I said, it's tailored, scenario based. So if someone's in the business world, they're experiencing just how they can elevate their confidence and just presence without saying a word. And when they discover that, and some of this, if you're not experiencing this through your childhood, perhaps, or, one of our other sort of enlightening programs is the dining aspect, how to actually host business people, for example, around a dining table or even over a coffee, a catch-up cafe coffee. How do you make that? What do you need to be aware of? A lot of finer detail that most people, when they're busy or perhaps have just never thought about it, and then suddenly it's a bit of magic, and those finer details, or as we say, the excellences in the details sometimes of how you execute something, people will come back and say, look, I still remember that. Like, we've got clients who train with us at the very beginning who come back and reflect on those moments of magic.
Mm. Do you do much work with young children and teenagers, Julie?
We do, but not to the same extent as young adults. We tend to focus on young adults, to corporates, to C-suite. Initially, when we started the business, we did work with several educational or schools, and look, we do from time to time still do that if we do get a request for it, but it isn't our primary market.
I understand. One of the areas that I love to advocate in both my professional work and in my personal life is exhorting parents about the crucial importance of teaching manners and etiquette at home all the time.
Yeah.
As daily life unfolds, there are countless opportunities to teach etiquette and manners, from the very basics of how to hold one's knife and fork, no elbows on the table, no chewing with your mouth open. These basic things that need to be explicitly taught to children, and not just once, but it's a daily, everyday drilling it in. I remember I actually did an Instagram live. In fact, not an Instagram live, it was just a video I recorded with my own father recently for Father's Day, and I was thanking him and also my mother for what they taught my siblings and I literally every day. I remember saying to him, it was every night at the dinner table, elbows off the table, don't chew with your mouth open, hold your knife and fork correctly. And at the time as a child, you think, oh goodness, you sound like a broken record. But now as an adult, it is so intrinsic to who I am and how I operate. I don't need to think about these things. And I'm so grateful for that, because as you've said, some people are not taught these things in their childhood. So they have to explicitly learn them and be consciously aware of practicing them, particularly in business environments and social settings.
One of our most popular programs is the dining, business dining or family dining. You're talking about family. We have hosted a number of families at the Sofitel, and it's fun, but they actually learn, a lot from, we don't even set the table for them. They need to actually lay the table, which is lots of fun, and then actually learning all the skills you mentioned. So the dining aspect, and then in the business context, you can undo yourself very rapidly if your dining skills are, not to the standard, shall we say, that perhaps people expect, or they're distracting. We always say, that's a distractor. if you're around the dining table and you've got some rather strange table manners or table etiquette. It is.
It's true, Julie. Now, I have to ask you, as a fellow etiquette consultant, I have my own little etiquette and protocol things that are perhaps a pet peeve. What would be one of your pet peeves when you notice things in situations that are not done correctly that particularly irk you?
I think currently, and this comes back to communication, is our there is so lacking in that interaction because we're all attached to our phone or looking at our phone or looking at a digital whatever. I think that right now people's concept of how to develop a relationship or even how to have a conversation with someone in the queue at the supermarket or just really how to develop positive and warm relationships and actually look your body looking like it's enjoying itself as opposed to being just we're all like this at the moment. It's huge. I mean, you will have seen it. It doesn't matter whether you're on the street and public transport. So we do teach a lot of etiquette around how you handle both social media and communication because it's important and we need these channels. We certainly promote the channels, but I think that personal interaction and communication is absolutely critical. And I think it is one of the things that people are losing their awareness of. They might be on the train having a loud conversation on the phone with a colleague, but everyone else needs to listen to it. Well, it is that self-awareness, as you mentioned earlier, Joe. I think for me is the piece or the gap that we're attempting to fill that gap and give people an understanding of the impact of your personal brand, what it's doing when you're having those moments where you just blank.
Very, very well said, Julie. Well, Julie, look, thank you again so much for your time. I so appreciate it. And I do believe that all of the viewers now and those who will watch in the future have learnt much from your wise expertise and vast knowledge. So thank you once again.
Thanks, Joe. Thank you.
Until next time. Bye-bye.
Very good.